I'm back.
Hey guys, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. So today's video is a update to a couple of other videos we had. MJ had some significant health issues recently, and in this video we're going to talk about her current state and then what the future looks like. All right, so if you don't know, MJ had a couple of significant health issues over the last like 8 months or so. One was a botched LASIK, and I shouldn't be laughing, but we talked about that in another video. We'll link it above. Since then, it's gotten better. It's not 100% yet, but there's been some significant incremental improvements, which she's going to talk about.
Right. So basically in that video, it explains what happened. So here's where we are now. I was seeing my eye doctor, a newer eye doctor. As I had mentioned in the last video, the surgeon that did the LASIK died out of kind of nowhere. So I had to find a new doctor. This doctor that I'm actually going to his name is Dr. Jimmy Hugh, and he is located in New York City. Some of the best doctors are in New York City, so I figured why not go to the best. This guy is unbelievable. He looks like he could be my son. He is attentive. He is unbelievably smart, takes his time with you. There's nothing wrong with this doctor.
And more importantly, your eyes are improving.
Right, well, we'll get to that, yeah. So anyway, I've been seeing him probably on a weekly to bi-weekly basis for the last few months.
If you follow us on Instagram, MJ's been posting numerous times from New York City, and it's not for the scenery really, it's because she's going to the doctor.
Right. He was very upfront with me, and he told me, look, we're going to get your vision back to where it was and even better, but it's going to take a long time. One eye is doing really well, my left eye. The right eye I've had to have now, we're up to I think 6 procedures, 6 surgeries I guess, on this eye to continue to fix and remove things that were going on with this eye. I'm happy to say that the last, what they call a lift and scrape, was successful. No more lifts and scrapes. My eyes are done for now. The cool thing is that I'm actually starting to be able to see better. And for the first time, 2 days ago, I drove Nellie. Now,
Yay.
I do, yes. I do need to wear glasses, so I have prescription sunglasses and regular glasses that I wear in order to do it, but I can do it. It's really, really cool because there was a while there, I didn't know what was going to happen with my vision.
MJ thought she was going to be blind, even though the doctors assured her she wasn't.
But when you're going that long with so many surgeries and you're still not seeing, it's very scary. But Dr. Hugh, again, put me at ease. He showed me all these different pictures of my eyes, exactly what was going on and what he would have to do. And it's really fascinating when you actually start learning about it. I've learned a lot over the last 6 months or 3 months with him. Dr. Hugh told me that within a year, approximately, that my vision should be pretty much close back to normal, where I can function and do everything I used to be able to do without glasses. We just have to wait for the scar tissue to continue to go away, and that's just what takes the time. So we are really, really in a much better place than we were a few months ago. And again, it's all thanks to Dr. Who, and I love this man. If you need a good eye doctor, I'm telling you, ask me and I will get you his information.
All right, the second issue that MJ had, and this was the more serious one, was regarding the anaphylactic reaction you had to a medication that put her in the hospital for a week or maybe it was over a week, which, that kind of got resolved, but the side effect is that all of a sudden a person that was perfectly healthy developed AFib, right? And what 2 different electrophysiologists had told her was that she was going to have an ablation. There was 100% chance it was coming back. If you've watched the last video, which we will link it above, basically she wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't comfortable with it. MJ, I guess, made the courageous decision to her primary care physician, who I
hadn't really talked to in a while. I had started seeing another one, but I knew I had to go back to Dr. Weiss, and we had mentioned Dr. Weiss in another video. Reached out to him. He said, your body has to heal itself. Give it time. And that's what I did. And that was in March. 2 to 3 times a week I was in appointments. The doctors were telling me you have to have the ablation. He said, wait. I did wait. Our next goal actually was to get me off the medication. I was taking metoprolol. I felt like crap on this medication. I had some really bad symptoms. I was not myself, and that was my goal, to get off the medication. So we talked to Dr. Weiss, we worked out a plan, really clean eating, slowly start to get back into exercise because I missed my running and I missed everything else that I used to do. So we did that. Within a few weeks, I still was not having any AFib episodes. So he said he started to wean me off. We started to wean off the metoprolol. Things were going well. They seemed to be doing okay. So finally we completely weaned off the metoprolol, and that was we are now
March,
in
maybe?
June. That was around the beginning of May.
Okay.
Right at the beginning of May, I came off the metoprolol completely. I started really, really exercising and running again. I was in heaven. Look, I had run half marathons, triathlon. So for me not to be able to do something was really a hit to the ego for me, and a hit to my fitness too. I wanted to be back out there. I started running again. I started working out again. I started doing all these things. I said, I'm just going to live like I used to. I was eating amazing food. I eat, we pretty much eat a plant-based diet. So I was eating really, really healthy. To this day, we are now filming this on June, 13th or so. What's today?
12th.
June 12th. And I have yet to have an episode of AFib back from, it was like in March was the last, or late February, was the last time I experienced any of the heart symptoms.
Yeah, so what I think is pretty significant, you kind of left this out, and we may have talked about it in the other video, I don't remember. When she went to these 2 electrophysiologists, the last one had her wearing a monitor for 30 days while she was on meds.
Yeah, I was gonna get to this.
24/7, 30 days on a monitor, because they are convinced she was going to have AFib. They told her, you will have AFib, you need to have an ablation, especially when she kind of started questioning and pushing back, do I really need to do this? The monitor showed nothing. The electrophysiologist said, well, yeah, you don't have anything, but you will 100% essentially be back, and you will 100% have AFib if you don't have an ablation.
He said yes, because after the monitor, it was 30 days. He came into the exam room and he said to me, did you feel anything over the last 30 days? I said, nothing. I felt nothing. He said, well, nothing showed. But that doesn't mean anything. You will 100% have AFib again. It may not be next week. It may be next month. It may be next year, but you will have AFib. And that right there, look, I'm the kind of person, I'm from Jersey. If you tell me something that I can't do or something that I know is not true, it is my goal to prove you wrong. And especially when it's my body. When this doctor told me you are going to have this, I don't believe that. And hey, maybe I will, and whatever, then I'll deal with it then. What did I say? Since March, beginning of March, I've had nothing. I am running miles and miles and miles. I'm doing step aerobics, I'm doing kickboxing, I'm doing all these things, and nothing. When I'm sleeping, nothing. I have my Apple Watch, it's checking for AFib, nothing. I believe in what I can do with my body and that I can heal myself. And I always like to tell people this, because a lot of people think I have to be at the doctor. Look, some people have legitimate AFib.
When you went into your shock, broccoli wasn't going to help you. You had to go to the hospital because you were having a immediate reaction to a medication. What didn't sit well with me was that this is a person that's always exercised. You had no health issues, and now all of a sudden you have this issue. To me, it wasn't coincidence. To us, to Dr. Weiss, it wasn't coincidence. And what really bothered me was the authoritarian state that you will have this if you don't have ablation, and we're going to put you on this medication. You're going to feel horrible. You can't do anything. And if you would have stayed on the medication, your health would have continued to decline because you weren't exercising, you weren't in the right state of mind. And I'm glad you went to a doctor that told you, no, we're going to take you off of this, and you're going to go and you're going to do this, this, and that. And look where you're at now.
And I am feeling amazing. I feel better than I ever did. Like I said, I'm back to my regular routine. My goal was this. Look, like I said, I've run long races, but for me now, a 5K was what I wanted to do for me. I need to cross the finish line, and to me, tell those doctors, I don't need medication. I don't need to have an ablation. I can do this on my own. My body's strong, and I did it. So a week ago, I said I'm going to run a 5K, and I do it at home, but I want to run it, and I want to cross the finish line. And let me tell you something. When I was running, I'm getting chills thinking about it. It's so empowering to be in control of your own health and to know what you're capable of. And I was running, and it was hard because it was like freaking 90 degrees that day. I don't do well in the heat. So it was really hot. It was really difficult that day, but I did it. And it was like, yes, I can do this. I'm getting back to where I was. There is no better feeling than that. So at this point, I guess the message is nobody knows you better than you. And it's extremely empowering to grasp that. And now look, doctors are wonderful. I have Dr. Weiss, who I am grateful for every day.
But he tells you nobody knows you better than you.
Absolutely, right. And I'm not discrediting doctors in any way, but these doctors, at least up to this point, were wrong. Dead wrong. And I'm glad I listened to my gut and to Izzy and to Dr. Weiss, and I'm in a much better place now.
So in the comments below, let us know, have you had some kind of medical issue where the doctors were told you something, doom and gloom, and you proved them wrong, whether by listening to them or not listening to them?
Yeah.
Put it in the comments below. And for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the road.